Rough Edge FM. Irritatingly irresistible internet radio at roughedgefm.com.
There's so much going on in your community that even in this age of information, it's tough to keep up. This show will help. It's all about what's new, what's happening, and what's out there. So if you're ready, sit back and listen up, Santa Paula.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, that is yours truly, the one, the only, the John Marquez.
Yeah, and Jim Lantine. Are you Jim or James?
You could go Jim. I don't care. It says James on the bottom.
Okay. Oh,
okay.
All right.
But Jim's good.
Yeah.
You're a little washed out today.
I know. What's the deal? It's a different camera today.
I know it is.
It's not me. I know that. So, yeah.
You're looking a little pale.
I think it's the backdrop. I got a
think
new backdrop.
We're going to have to probably remove that backdrop.
That made all the difference right there. I just noticed that. I'm looking at the camera. I'm like, wait a minute. What's going on?
So we tried to hide the bar from you.
Yeah.
But apparently that is not being very effective.
Well, that's because we're doing this in the morning, which is unusual for us.
Yes, it is.
We can't have the bar open right now.
We can't, but I think we might need to because you're looking a little flush.
What's the deal?
But you are sick.
Yeah, but not that sick. Jeez.
I didn't want to tell you, but this is what you look like to everybody. You know how they say voices, don't sound the same to you.
Yeah.
So,
or you have a visual radio.
Visuals don't.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So anyway, welcome.
Yes.
It's Wednesday morning.
It's good to be here.
And we actually have another guest.
Yes, we've been killing it with the guests. And they keep getting better every week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amanda.
Oh,
Ananda.
You got that wrong.
Don't say that. They get better because I really liked Ananda.
Wow.
So
yeah. Well, he's not as he's not as good looking, but I mean
that's true.
We'll best we can do. Considering.
I know that is true, but he is from a very reputable company.
Yes.
One that is geared towards helping small businesses, especially in the community.
Yeah.
And so let's bring Joe onto the stage. Yeah. Hey, Joe.
Hey, good morning.
Whoa! How about if I turn you up? There you go.
Just want to check to see if I'm as flush looking as John, and I'm not.
No, you look pretty darn good.
He's so much better looking than me today. Look at this.
Yeah. He looks really good on camera.
Well, I got a different camera today, so that's the difference.
You need to get John a different camera.
I'm gonna try dropping the booze and seeing if
it makes a difference.
If it looks, yeah.
I think because there's extra sunlight today.
You think so?
Maybe.
Okay.
So, Joe, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
It's this is the first time I've been to this venue, this House of Magic, and wow, what a place!
Look at that.
Yeah, great place.
Isn't that amazing? It makes all the difference in the world.
Yes, it does. So now I'm looking pretty damn good. Yeah. All right. Sorry, Joe.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Joe. We're kind of like the people always say that we're the hidden gem, but we're trying to not hide.
Yeah.
So
well, you're not hidden from me anymore, and I'll spread the word of how great this place is.
Oh, thank you. So it's unique.
Yes, it is.
It's very unique, and it's in Santa Paula, which is even cooler.
Great.
So Joe, you're with SCORE. What does SCORE stand for?
SCORE is.
Was that a tough question, by the way?
No, that was an easy question.
He was worried about the tough questions. That's about as tough as it gets.
SCORE, it's a definition that we've kind of gotten away from over the years, but SCORE was founded 50 years ago, and it stood for the Service Corps of Retired Executives. So we're a nonprofit organization, mostly made up of still retired execs, retired business people, retired professionals, but also, and one of the reasons for dropping the definition is that there are a lot of entrepreneurs who are in business, running their own businesses that are not retired, that are part of SCORE.
So even people that are actively engaged in business are consulting with other businesses.
Correct. As I said, we're a nonprofit. Started about 50 years ago out of Washington, D.C. in the 1960s. And we're made up, we're all volunteers. So about 10,000 volunteers across the country. I'm a member of the Ventura County chapter of SCORE. We're about 50 volunteers covering Ventura County, and we go as far east as a little bit into Westlake Village and Nagoya Hills and Calabasas.
So, as a retired executive, what was your field when you were working?
I retired at the end of 2022, so I've been happily retired for a little more than a year. I work for a company by the name of Chatsworth Products, a manufacturer of IT infrastructure products. And I was one of their sales VPs, was with them for 25 years. So my specific background is in sales, sales leadership, some business development. I led the startup of our international sales offices around the world. So that's what I brought to SCORE. And as I retired, and I think one of the sort of anxieties that as you look to retiring after working for many, many years, I was with the company for 25 years. What am I going to do with all this newfound spare time?
Yeah.
And I went on the internet, looked up volunteer opportunities, and SCORE popped up. And so I went into the website, checked them out. It's all about helping small businesses, an opportunity to give back to the community, pay it forward. And I applied and was accepted, and got that. That's keeping me busy, along with some other fun things that I'm doing in retirement.
Very cool.
Keeps you active, though. I know that's a lot of people that'll retire. They just stop doing stuff, but it's great that you get back in the community, engage in things you like to do, and you're able to give back in that capacity.
Yeah,
that's great.
Keeps the brain going too.
Yeah,
I was going to say, yeah, you got to keep that brain engaged, because boy, I'll tell you, as soon as you stop doing that, it's people go downhill pretty quick.
Yeah,
right.
So
exactly.
So with SCORE now, they help in a variety of ways. They can help you with accounting, they can help you with sales, marketing, things of that nature. So how is it that if a small business comes in, how do they get paired up with the correct person?
So there's a few different functions or services that SCORE provides. One of them is one-on-one mentoring for small businesses. The other is education through online webinars and live workshops. So if you're in need for any one-on-one mentoring, and I should mention that all of these services are no cost. We're partnered with the U.S. Small Business Administration. We're funded by Congress. So we provide just about all of our services at no cost. So if you had a particular need for sales, how do I improve my sales? I need more customers. And those are the types of clients that are coming to me and I'm mentoring. You go to the SCORE website, score.org/Ventura. And the website's great. Website is phenomenal with just all the tools and resources. But you would go in there and there's several drop downs, find a mentor. And that's where you go in and you put in your information, what your need is, where you are, and then that comes into our system. And there's a coordinator that receives and views all these applications or requests, and they match up the client with the particular SCORE volunteer that has that expertise.
How long do they have a mentor for? Is there a time limit?
We at SCORE, we like to think of it as a lifelong relationship, and not just a one-time thing, or a long-term relationship during the life of that business. So we like to have monthly, either in person or Zoom meetings with the client and walking them through the different needs that they have.
Yeah.
All right, I got the tough question. Okay. So let's say now, first of all, you said you volunteer? So all of the retired entrepreneurs or experts, they're all volunteering?
We're all volunteering.
Okay. So let's say you get into a business and you're working with them, but you're finding that do you ever run into a situation where they're just not receptive? They want, they ask for the help, but they're not really receptive to the help. How do you kind of vet that out where you make sure that it is a good relationship and a healthy one?
Like any relationship, personal, business, or in this case, a SCORE client relationship, it's a two-way street. So we don't do the work for them.
Right.
We guide them through helping themselves, and we guide them using the resources that SCORE has available. And again, if you go to the website, there's tons and tons of templates for writing a business plan, for example.
And if you're online, if you're watching us on Facebook versus through one of the podcast sites, we do have the image of the website up on the screen.
Nice.
Thank you. So yeah, it's a two-way street, and we'll know, and we like to have ongoing meetings with clients. And if they're not willing to do the homework, and the homework could be, okay, here's a simple one-page business plan template. Let's work on the first part of this. And then when we meet in a month, let's go over it. So if they don't do the work, then they're not reciprocating.
Right.
I think that's kind of a misconception with some people. They're thinking that when they partner with these organizations that they're going to do all the work for them.
Right.
And you come in and you're going to instantly fix their business. And it's like, no, they're here to guide you, but you still have to do the work.
Right.
And that's something we're trying to help educate our community. It's like, we're providing services, Joe and SCORE, they're doing some great stuff with us, and we have other organizations too, but they're not there to save you. They're here to guide you.
Right.
And I think it's a tough sell for businesses sometimes.
There are paid consultants out there that do that.
That'll do that.
They call it, they charge for that type of service.
And likewise, if you're a business and you bring somebody on and you just don't feel that connection, you can always request a different partner, correct? With SCORE?
Yeah, if I don't have the particular expertise as we go down the road, and I have a few meetings with the client, if it's more accounting or finance that they need that I'm not well versed in, we have 40 some other mentors in our chapter that we can refer them to.
So there's over 40 mentors that are in Ventura County?
Close to 50, I think.
Wow.
And I think we briefly talked about it the other day was Spanish speaking.
See.
Okay. So you have that available too for at least some aspect of what you guys do, right?
So on the SCORE website itself, there's a translate function. So just everything on the website can be translated. I'd say virtually everything, but specifically a lot of the templates and documents are available in Spanish. In our chapter, there are 4 of us. I speak fluent Spanish, and there are 3 other native speakers that are mentors that speak Spanish. We're always looking for new members, new volunteers, and so anyone out there that has some expertise and wants to share that expertise with the community, we're always recruiting for new members and volunteers, and obviously we could use some more Spanish speaking.
Yeah, and that's huge, and not just Santa Paula, but in our county for the number of Hispanic businesses here. Here in Santa Paula, we're over 70% Hispanic, and our businesses also reflect that too. So, so it's good to have that kind of that opportunity to have this free training available for them as well. So, yeah.
Now, I assume SCORE is pretty rigid in their vetting process
as far as
who the mentors are, so you can pretty much trust that if they're a SCORE volunteer that they've been really vetted and they know what they're doing.
And keep in mind we're a national organization, so a lot of our guidelines come from the headquarters, and the organization's been around for some 50 years, so everything's pretty well defined and structured. And that's been kind of nice for me because I come out of a corporate world, and in in retirement, I still have some conference calls and still have some structure in my life that I may have missed, had I not found SCORE.
Right.
But the vetting process, yeah, and I'd say probably the trickiest part could possibly be that we have no conflict of interest sort of rule or guideline, that if you're a SCORE mentor and you're still working, or you have a business, you can't be pitching. You can't be pitching your services to a client.
There's a fine line there.
Come hire me, and I'll actually do the work for you.
That's a no-no.
And that's something that's actually really great, because I know we've used some outside services before, and it's supposedly a free service, but then you go to it and it's all about how you can engage them for the service.
Yeah.
It's like we actually got criticized for that once, where in not in a bad way, but we did a marketing seminar that we did for free on how to build websites. And not once did we ever mention that we could build their website for them if they wanted to pay. And so at the end of the session, they were all like, well, can we just hire you to do this? And it's like, yes, but this wasn't what that was about. We weren't trying to pitch us. We were just trying to help other local businesses on what a website was about. So I do know you can run into that, where sometimes free isn't always free, and you get that pressure sales. Right. So it's great about SCORE that, when you bring them in, it is truly free. Yeah. And there's never going to be, at the end of the day, a sales pitch trying to hook them into some type of commitment.
Yeah. I've been to those types of presentations where they come back, and then you end up on their mailing list, and we don't do that. And in fact, many of our speakers are non-SCORE members. They're subject matter experts. They come and they present. And one of the guidelines and rules for them is that it's not a sales pitch.
Right.
Which leads us into, I didn't mean to cut you off, leads us into a training program that they're going to do for us in town.
Okay. Yeah. So that's the one-on-one mentoring. So you do training sessions as well.
With COVID, pre-COVID, we did in-person workshops and a lot of in-person education events. And as COVID hit the world, and as everyone had to adapt, we found ourselves doing more and more webinars, online webinars.
Maybe I missed something. What's COVID?
Seems like a long time ago now.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So and the advantages and the benefits came along with that, as we're all familiar with, bigger audiences, more attendance, all of that. But that in-person, face-to-face component was missing. And so we're back to organizing in-person workshops with a subject matter expert presenter. We've had a few last year. In fact, we had 2 here in Santa Paula on 2 different topics. One was fundamentals of starting up a new business, and the other one was the art or effective networking. Well attended last year. So we're back, and we're doing another workshop a week from tomorrow on February the 8th. Here in Santa Paula at the Glen Tavern Inn. And the topic, so it starts at 6 p.m. You can register on our website. I think, James, you've got the website up. The topic will be how businesses obtain credit. And we've had the good fortune of securing 2 knowledgeable expert speakers on that topic. And they are Anson Marr and Jay Donaz from the Ventura County Credit Union. So they'll be talking about, again, the nuts and bolts of very practical steps in applying for a loan, how to apply for a loan, how to maintain a good business credit score. And again, as small businesses and entrepreneurs starting up their small businesses, we all have our personal banking accounts and our own personal finances. But as you migrate to business, your own business, it's a different world where you need a business account, you need the licenses and permits, and sometimes you need a loan. So the folks from the Ventura County Credit Union will be presenting on that again next Thursday, February the 8th. Glen Tavern Inn in Santa Paula starts at 6:00, and registration is open.
And this is also free.
It's free. Yes.
So everything that SCORE presents, whether it's a seminar, it's all free.
It's free.
100%. That's nice.
Yeah. So
That's
this is gonna be a
nice.
great event. And we appreciate Joe and SCORE for coming in and doing that. It's been a great partnership with the chamber, with the city, and we're hoping to present several other seminars later, or workshops later in the year as well on other topics. But with how to obtain credit, my parents owned a business for years here in Santa Paula. I used to own a business way in the past, and it's hard, like you're talking about having a personal account and a business account, how to separate that. Most businesses here in town, it's combined.
Yeah.
So it's how do you teach them to separate that? Because it's hard. I mean, it's hard. My parents used to do it that way. They had a business account, but it was always overlapping.
Yeah.
And so it's really tough, especially today's world. How do you help a business? And I think it's great that you're bringing in two gentlemen that have some expertise on that, and to help them, show them the difference of doing that and how to obtain credit. Because I think a lot of them don't even know how they can obtain credit. A lot of it's cash based for a lot of them. So they may not know that it might be easier than they think to get a loan.
Unfortunately, I've learned all too well how to obtain credit.
And sometimes sometimes they do too much credit, so it's making them understand what's right for them. So I think that's going to be a huge help to our small businesses here in our community. It's much needed, I think, right now for a lot of them. So yeah, no, we appreciate SCORE coming in and doing this program.
And we do, and I forgot to mention that we do it in partnership. We've done these workshops in the past, and this one next week, and we plan to have others during the year on other topics, but in partnership with the chamber, yourselves, and with the city of Santa Paula. It's been great working with both of you.
Now, with like the Glen Tavern, for example, when you're coming in, and because it's a no charge seminar, do a lot of the venues offer their venue to you at no charge as well? Or if
the city's taking care of that, so I don't.
Okay.
Don't know.
Actually, for this go around, the chamber actually is helping with arranging the either low cost or no cost for using the facilities right now.
Okay.
And that's in partnership with the city.
So a
we're
lot
kind
of
of working
times
together on it.
So SCORE will come into either with the city or the
Yeah.
chamber and partner that way. So you're not you're not doing it just as SCORE.
No, not at all. And
Okay.
we have a sort of part of our relaunch of workshops is working with several cities within Ventura County on the same basis to co-sponsor a workshop. That way we get the city and then the local chamber to promote the event. At the end of the
Get
day,
behind it.
we're supporting local businesses, which is the same mission as the local chamber and the city economic development folks.
Any of the training programs or workshops we bring into the community, it's no cost for the organization that comes in as well. So the chamber or the city actually partners together, and we help cover the costs for whatever we need to do, bring in refreshments, however that works and stuff like that. So as we ask these organizations to come in and they're providing free services, we don't expect them to pay for anything as well.
Nice.
So it helps them as well.
Well, it's that whole, like you said, pay it forward.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that's sadly with, everything that's going on in the world today. I think people kind of lose sight of the generosity that is out there, and there's a lot of it. And there's a lot of people that are doing very good things and community type things that are not looking to be compensated. So,
and this goes on all throughout the county, not just Santa Paula. We're doing this. You're finding that other cities as well.
Yeah.
Ventura County's been really good about providing free resources for its businesses and residents too. Working with EDC and, there's Weave, the SBA has been a partner too. So, along with SCORE. So there's a lot of opportunity out here for free services for not just Santa Paula, but for the entire county and stuff. So you just got to get out there and look for it. That's part of the issue. You got to get them out there and start getting involved.
So if you want to learn more about SCORE, you can go to score.org, SCORE.org.
Mm-hmm.
And to save yourself some time to have to filter it out, you can do a /Ventura,
Mm-hmm.
and that will get you to the Ventura score. So, and I assume that for people that don't have internet connection or anything like that, is there a number they can call?
There we have a SCORE number. Let me look it up here on my card. It is 805-204-6022.
So there's obviously on the SCORE website as well, if you have the means, there is a donate button to help keep this program going, because even though they volunteer, there are still costs associated with it. If you're a volunteer, or if you want to look into volunteering, you can go to the SCORE website. Down at the very bottom of the page, there's a volunteer link, as well as if you want to sponsor SCORE. So
hey, thanks for the pitch, James.
Yeah, we're here to help promote.
I did it.
Yeah.
My mom will be proud.
Yeah. James does a good job once in a while. You know, he does. Just got to cover it.
So John, there's things that are obviously happening in Santa Paula. So what's going on?
Yeah, besides the great training that SCORE is providing, the following Thursday, we're actually partnering with Weave Women's Economic Ventures, and they're doing their Emprendimiento program, their 8-week training course, all in Spanish for businesses in our Santa Clara River Valley.
Can I clarify one thing? So Weave is women, but you don't have to be a woman to attend or benefit from these programs.
It's for women, and it's also for our even Latino-based businesses and stuff like that.
Okay.
So it doesn't necessarily have to be women, because we had a cohort last year, and I'd say we probably had about a third of the ones, the individuals that were there were men.
Okay.
So I know it's kind of, I've asked the question, so why is it Women's Economic Ventures? You know, you got to expand that a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
But so we have a second cohort that's starting on February 15th and runs for 8 consecutive weeks. And we're probably going to end up with probably about 24 businesses here in Santa Paula, Fillmore, and out of Pyro too.
And the last time we did that, it was for grant money that they got at the end of this.
It's the same opportunity again. Weaves has another grant they received that they can do this. So we're creating a second cohort for this.
Nice.
So after the 8 weeks of training, they're eligible to apply for a $7,500 loan. And last year we had 10 businesses in our valley that got it. So
really, is it a loan or a grant?
It's basically a grant.
Okay.
So they could pretty much do whatever they want with it.
But they don't have to pay it back?
Nope.
Okay.
So that's for completing the course, doing their business plan, and going through the whole process as well.
Well, when you said loan, I got nervous because I know that
I meant plan. I meant grant.
Yeah,
so,
I know that 4-letter word. And
yeah.
Somebody's always knocking on your door after.
Yeah. So we have that training program coming up to complement what SCORE's doing as well, because this is all in Spanish for this one.
Right.
And this is a little different type of training. So we're kind of providing a little bit of training for everybody. Now, this Friday on the 2nd, the Chamber's having their board installation breakfast. First time we're doing it. We're going to introduce our board. Gloria Martinez, who's our board chair, new board chair, is going to kind of give her thoughts on what's going on with the Chamber for the year. We have a lot of great stuff coming up this year, some great partnerships as well. So we're going to kind of lay some of that out.
And I got scrambled eggs.
I got scrambled egg burrito. Can you eat a tortilla?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So plain, just eggs.
Just
okay.
remember. Yeah.
Right. We'll have to do something special for you in the back. So anyway, so Peggy Kelly is going to actually give about a 10-minute presentation on what's happened over the year in Santa Paula and maybe some items of what's coming up on the horizon. We do have the election coming up. There'll be 2 city council seats up later in the year. Excuse me. And then we have the primaries that are coming up in March. And there's actually 2 potential bond measures that are coming up, Measure A and B for the school district. So that's going to be a topic as well coming up. And then one of the measures is to extend the current measure that's out there for the elementary school. And the second measure is actually to help support the new complex that they're going to build at the high school. The gym burned down there last year. So besides building the gym, they're going to make some other build outs with a new pool and a new music center and the whole thing. So they need a little bit more on top of that to help support that as well. So that's coming up as well. So
let me back you up on the board installation. Do you have to sign up for that, or do you just show up?
No, you can buy your ticket at the door.
Okay.
But you can also go to the chamber website, santapaulachamber.com. On the homepage, there's a link there for tickets. They're $25 for chamber members, and they're $35 for non-members. And for the most part, all the money goes to Cocina 1912 to help support what they do too. So we're supporting one of our own members. So that's you get we're making breakfast burritos, pastries, coffee, juices. So we're gonna have a little bit of everything. It's about an hour. It starts at 8:30. But I'll be presenting a couple things as well. And so it's about an hour program. So it's good to get an opportunity to even ask questions and just kind of see what we're doing. We're laying out what's going on for the chamber for this next year.
Cool.
Yeah.
So this Friday we have our improv class or our improv show.
Yep.
And our new escape room is finally open.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yay.
Yeah.
So Joe, you got any closing thoughts?
No, thank you for having me today. I'm glad I made the. It wasn't a 40-minute drive for me, not bad. And thank you. And again, I encourage all the listeners to go to our website. And if you're interested in need of any counseling on how to obtain credit for your business, attend our workshop here next Thursday, February the 8th at the Glen Tavern Inn. And if the workshop doesn't work for you, go on our website and just become familiar with all the resources that SCORE offers to help and support small business. So again, thanks for listening. Thanks for having me. Great to be here.
For having you.
We're glad you're making it. It's a lot better at being in studio than on the internet.
Yeah.
So,
and we do have a link on the chamber website to sign up for the workshop as well.
The workshop.
Yeah.
And can they do that at the door, or do they have to sign up in advance?
They can do it at the door.
Yeah. Okay.
If
all right.
It's
always best to do it in advance. So it's stuff you want to plan for. If it's vital to your business, it's always best to plan.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's going to close out the week. So thank you very much, Joe, for coming. John, you're doing great with getting these guests. So keep them rolling in.
Yeah, I'm up in my game a little bit.
You are up in your game.
It only took a year, but I mean, we're okay.
Don't drop the ball.
Yeah.
So, all right, we will talk to you all next week. Don't forget, for the SCORE website, you can go to score.org/Ventura. If you want to learn more about the House of Magic, you can go to thomagic.org. And for the chamber,
santapaulachamber.com.
We will see you all next week.
This has been a Rough Edge Studios production.